Howdy, my name is Christina Rodriguez, and today I will be presenting about my recommendation report that I did with my team. Okay, so to begin, I want to provide some background into the case. So basically, the Reynolds and Reynolds Company is a company that develops and supports software for automotive retailers, and currently they have three different locations. They have a location in College Station, their headquarters, and also one in Houston. So the recruiting department currently right now in Houston seems to be a little bit different in comparison to the recruiting departments in College Station and at their headquarters. The recruiting department in Houston currently only has 3 associates, whereas the ones located in College Station and in their headquarters has more than 20. And so there's just like a difference in the number of associates that they have. And because of this, they're having issues with their efficiency. So overall, the entire purpose of this recommendation report is to examine and conduct research to eventually just help the Houston recruiting department at the Reynolds and Reynolds Company to improve their organizational development and efficiency, and hopefully just overall make them a better company and help them produce and achieve their goals as much as possible. Okay, so we have 4 proposed tasks that we came up with as a team. Our first task was to assess the work environment at the Houston recruiting department. And so just kind of like see where it's at right now. Currently, like after looking at their Houston recruiting department, we were able to like basically view that it wasn't working at the same capacity as the other locations. And it's because of the number of associates. Our second proposed task was to identify ways in which the recruiting office could be improved, and this was done through an interview of the person in charge. And then also we have our third proposed task, which was to discover recommendations for new employees. And then our fourth proposed task was recommendations for recruiting efficiency. And so essentially in the first proposed task, we just, like I explained earlier, we just evaluated the current department, how it's doing with those 3 associates, and we ultimately came to the decision that they were not functioning properly and to their max efficiency. So our second proposed task, we conducted an interview with the head of the recruiting department, or with the head of the Reynolds Company in the Houston department. And basically, we found out that we could be doing more to improve the recruiting department to eventually employ new employees or just find new strategies. And so, our third proposed task was just to discover recommendations for new employees, like what this would look like, what kind of employee would we want to recruit, whether it be a supervisor, a recruiter, an associate, like what specific employee would we want to hire into the company. And then from there, we were able to evaluate recommendations for recruiting efficiency. Like, should we actually recruit somebody? Should we just implement different, like, new strategies into the recruiting department so that they would be able to function and operate efficiently. And so ultimately, in the results, kind of like I highlighted before, the recruiting department currently in the Houston department is not functioning to their max potential. And so I evaluated them based off of 6 different like core strategies that a lot of recruiting departments and other companies utilize. And they are like limited in their awareness, consideration, and in their interest. And so these things are all very important within a recruiting company. And so we eventually figured out through the other results, and proposed task 3 that we would like to implement an employee, and then the specific kind of employee would be a recruiter. And so not just anybody added into the company, but specifically a recruiter to employ somebody else into the company and help them pursue their goals overall. And so our overall recommendation from the results was to our final recommendation would be to hire an additional recruiter to the Houston recruiting team. And essentially what this would do is that it would first off, just add an additional person into the recruiting department that's already limited. And from this new additional employee, they'd be able to help the company grow and actually achieve their goals that they're not currently working towards because they're just lacking that extra personnel, that extra help that an additional recruiter would be able to bring into this company. Thank you.